Hello and welcome to eSuite. Today we're going to demonstrate the third-party logistics and warehousing functionality inside eSuite. Third-party warehousing is a very challenging feature to implement in an ERP system, primarily because some of the transactions that are involved in warehousing are they're not really, it's not your inventory, and they're non-accounting, they're just activity. And generally ERP systems don't handle that very well, and which is why the majority of third-party logistics and warehousing systems out there are homegrown spreadsheets, custom-built solutions. What we're going to see here is how we've managed to add some functionality to our ERP system to manage third-party warehousing and logistics. So your typical, keep in mind what we're talking about here is managing other people's pallets of inventory in our warehouse. So what happens in this scenario is if you're managing other people's stock, you have an opening stock and you have activity that comes in, you have stock coming in and stock coming out, and then you have closing pallets of stock. And you want to charge your customers for the stock that you've got and any activity that's coming in. Now typically you would invoice them weekly for the opening stock that you've got on hand, plus any that have come in, and maybe a handling fee that comes in, and any service fees like pallet wrapping or stock counting. But every third-party warehousing business is different, and what we find is that everyone's got different ideas on how they want to do this. Some customers want to invoice weekly, some want to invoice monthly to reduce the number of invoices that go out. Customers want to produce stock on hand reports. So what we're going to see is, whilst this is a kind of an off-the-shelf solution, it is also very, very configurable and programmable, and we've kind of created a hybrid of standard functionality but also heavily customizable functionality to really deal with any type of third-party logistics warehousing functionality you could ever possibly want. On top of that, we've created a website mobile app which allows you to see in real time the stock on hand position, all the pallets, the information relative to one of your customers, and also allow that customer to send you a notification of pallets that they want to pull out of your warehouse. So this is a very important part of the whole feature solution, so that your customers get a real live feedback of the information that you're managing on their behalf. Now, the other thing that we need to think about is that with third-party logistics warehousing, a lot of them are you want to manage your warehouse very tightly. You want to make sure that we optimize your bin racking space so that it's always full. And in particular, freezer warehouses are often 3 or 4 pallets deep, and you might have somebody's pallet in the back corner that's behind 2 other pallets. And in order to get to those back corner pallets, you've got to go and pull the 2 pallets out in front to get to the rear one. And that's where another feature that we're going to show you is the graphical warehouse management system that allows us to see all this information graphically on the screen. So let's have a quick look at that. I'm going to log into this to our database here, and first of all I'm going to go straight in and show you the graphical warehouse management system. Now this is just a demo database. We'll make it a bit bigger. In fact, we'll maximize the screen. So what we've got here is aisles. So you can imagine a forklift driver goes in here and there's a gap in here, and he can drive all the way through to the end here. We've also got the ability to put pallets in the aisles themselves. So this is what some people do with freezer warehouses, again to optimize space. Or to put stuff in temporary areas. We have these things called GPA, general picking areas, and we can create unlimited configurations. This particular demo, we've only got this warehouse is 5 bins high, so level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have aisles G, H, I, J, K, L, M, and N, E, and F, and a chiller Y, and Z. Now, just to for comparison, I'm going to just toggle into another layout. Now, this particular warehouse, we have an aisle down here, and this is where we could have 3 pallets deep. So level 1, level 2, level 3, 3 levels high, and this would be the immediately accessible, and this is 1 deep, and this is 2 deep. This is an example of where this is a 2 deep pallet arrangement here. And again, this is 2 deep here. So this is what you get, these kind of configurations for freezer warehouses where space is an absolute premium. And we can also have these general areas we can drop stock in there. Let's have a look how it works. I'm going to go back to the demo. So let's jump straight in and do a notification inwards. Select the customer, and remember, we're managing the stock on behalf of our customers. Now, we do have the facility to manage stock codes, and we could create various stock codes in here on our customers' behalf. But what I've done is I've actually created some generic stock codes for each customer, because it's an option that you may or may not want to manage stock codes per se for the customer. In this case, I don't want to do that. I just want to record, because I don't really care what stock my customer has got. They're just going to send me notification inwards, and I'm going to say, oh well, they're sending me some prawns, and they're going to, and their code for those prawns is PRW001, and I'm going to have 3 pallets of prawns, and they're also going to send me some calamari, and the code for that is XL001, and maybe this time they're just going to send me 40 cartons of that, and let's say they're going to send me some scallops. And let's say they're going to send me this time half a pallet of scallops, and we're going to share that pallet with another pallet. So we're going to have 20 cartons, which is effectively half a pallet, and we'll share that with some bassa fillets. Alright, and that's going to be shared with the pallet above. So what the system's doing behind the scenes is it's creating these pallet IDs, and we can see that these two have got a shared pallet ID, but they have individual batch references. Okay, when I finish this, what we're going to do, and remember this is a notification inward, so what we're saying here is we've got this stock to put away, and we need to assign where we're going to put it. So I'm going to drop it into these bins, and it's just a matter of, hang on a second, let's start at the top. I'm going to go up here, highlight this one here, and click, 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 and now this last one here will be half a pallet, and we click again, and there's the remaining stock on that pallet. I could customize everything in our system here is customizable, and I've actually just realized that I need to put in a particular field in order to see, and I think it's this one. Yep, that's actually my stock description field. That's our customer's stock description field. So I'm just going to tweak this a little bit, just because. And this would only be used if we're going to use our generic stock codes, but I'm not really interested in those, so there we go. That's better. Now we can see what we're talking about. And I could customize that and put our own the customer's stock code that we had in there. Again, it's using a user-defined field. And this is just a short demo of how flexible this system is. I mean, everything in this eSuite system is configurable and customizable. So we have a notification inwards. So getting back to here, this is the, no, hang on, we need to hit the refresh button, and hopefully when we refresh, what we should see on our graphical warehouse is there's the items that I've just brought in to be they're notified in. Now they're not actually showing up as transactions here. We get to see information down the bottom of what's physically in these items. Again, you can, as you click on the cells, it'll highlight the corresponding information at the top here. If I click away, it's showing them in light grey because these are notification inwards items. They're not physically taking up space in the warehouse. But if I click on them, what it does is highlights in green all the stock that's associated with that ABC customer. So depending on where you click, you get different results. So let's complete that. Now we just entered in a notification inwards. This is the one that I just did. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up and I'm going to receive it like this. Now what it's going to do is we've pre-allocated all those the bins, so we know exactly where these items are going to go in the warehouse. If I click on this, I can verify that and see that where these items are. So if I click on it, you can see it's highlighted in red the locations for these items. And now one more thing that we're going to do is we're going to print this out and give it to our forklift driver. Now the advantage of this, what we've just done, and it may not be apparent when you're just looking at this, is we're able to pre-allocate where this stock was going to go in our graphical warehouse. That saves you a lot of time because you can predetermine where you're going to put stuff, and then when the goods actually arrive, an hour or 2 hours later, you can, with a couple of clicks of the button, you can then convert it to real stock in the warehouse, and we can print out this report that we just give to the forklift driver to put the stock physically in the warehouse. Did I print that? Oops, I printed it to the printer. Let's have a look at it on the screen. And so this is the kind of report that we would like to see, and it tells us the bin numbers to put the stock into. Bin numbers are fully configurable. You can make them the numbering scheme whatever you like. It's totally customizable. So we're telling our forklift driver to put these pallets away into these, and how many cartons we're talking about, and so on. So this is actually probably I could tweak this a little bit better and have the word pallet beside here. I probably should have put the unit of measure in there. I could have done that. Okay, so that is logistics in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the stock out. So that notification in has disappeared, and it should have gone into the stock in section. And there it is there. Now I'm going to tweak this. I want to actually backdate this. You wouldn't normally do this. I want to set it back a week, and it's a little bit of a cheat, I know, but it's just going to help my demo, because what I want to see is later on we're going to do that invoicing, and my invoicing works off a week ending of a Sunday, and today's Friday. So what I want to see is the activity as if we were invoicing on the Monday of this week. So I've physically recorded that stock as coming in on the 22nd. So you can actually do backdated transactions. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out some of that stock. I'm going to notify out. You can bypass the notify if you just go, right, I'm going to go straight for logistics out. You can do it that way. In fact, why don't we do it that way? Because, so ABC, it's the customer, and I get down to here. Now I can't remember what stock they've got, so I'm going to hit Control Spacebar to look it up. and here's all the items that we've got in stock. And let's say we want to pull out those Bassa fillets, the 20 cartons. Select. And that would automatically, it knows that those items are coming out of the bin. And again, we create this report and give it to the warehouse driver to pull out of that bin number 20 cartons of Bassa fillets. And again, I probably should have, I just need to tweak that and have a unit of measure on that report. If you really want to see it, we can go and design that report in here and design it. So this is our report designer, and it would be a matter of just tweaking this layout. But that's not for now. We're going to move on. And so what I've got is a logistics outward transaction, and what we should see when we finish that is if we go back to our warehouse and hit the refresh button, what I'm hoping is one of these pallets disappears. There it is, see? So we've now got half a pallet, and it's also now showing up as blue because it's in stock, not just notified in, they're physically in stock, and this is a half a pallet left over. So we deal with the complexity of half pallets and cartons and pulling stock in and out, and I could have taken I could have even just taken one carton out of this and it would keep track of both cartons and pallets. So very powerful third-party logistics warehouse management. What else? The only other thing that we can do is we can do some activity like a logistics service, ABC, and this is a bit simpler. We just need to enter in a service kind of stock code, something like I don't know, miscellaneous fees, or let's see, a wrapping fee. Okay, so we're doing a pallet wrap, and we'll do 3 pallets. Okay, we've got $3 per pallet wrap, and we'll set that back to last week just for the fun of it. Now let's have a quick look at the website, and I'm going to log in as the same customer. And now straight in, it just gives you that list of stock on hand. Now just to see how that works, if I go back to eSuite, what I'm talking about here is if I go notify out, select the customer and hit the control spacebar. These are all the stock items that I've got for this customer within the ERP system, and it's showing the same information on the website. And if the customer wants to notify you that they want this pallet out and maybe this one and this one, they just tick the items that they want to pull out of your inventory system, and just for the hell of it, that's batches 93, 97 and 99. And they go like this, and what that will do is create a transaction inside the core program. There it is. Okay, so it's created a transaction called XSNO 253. Let's have a quick look at that. So we are in the middle of, let's get out of here, and let's have a look at our sales transactions. Notify out. So there is the transaction that was created on that website. So it's very powerful. Not only does the customer get to see a list of all their pallets and half pallets, but they can also notify you that they want to withdraw these pallets out of your inventory system. Incredibly powerful feature. And then all you have to do is open up the transaction as we've done here and hit dispatch. And it's going to create a logistics outward transaction. If I finish that, so it's going to take out of these bins, G201, G215, it's going to pull these items out of stock. So I don't know if I can see that where it is, but what we should see, if I refresh this screen, it will have come out of somewhere. It's probably coming out of one of these areas in here. There we go. See, it's pulled these pallets out of your warehouse automatically. Just knew where they were, and again, what I should have done is printed that off and given it to the forklift driver to extract from the warehouse. So that was a stock out. I can obviously reprint it. There's the transaction. Screen that. And here's a notification of the items that are coming out of the warehouse. There's the three pallets that are coming out. Okay, now, right, so what we've demonstrated here is we've got opening stock, we've got pallets in, pallets out, we've got a closing pallet, we've got this website that gives us stock holding, we did some services, we did notification in, notification out, so we've done all that. What about the invoicing? Okay, so let's have a quick look at that. Right, now, so what we're going to do is, the invoicing is pretty complicated, and anyone that's doing 3PL warehousing or third-party logistics warehousing on behalf of their customers know that it gets pretty tricky, because you've got to deal with, from week to week, you've got to deal with an opening stock on hand quantity. You have to deal with stock coming in, stock coming out, and somehow invoice your customers for holding stock, but also for this activity that's occurring, whether it's stock coming in and stock going out. Now, typically a lot of customers don't charge for stock out. This is just pretty standard in the industry. However, what we're going to show you in a minute is how this is totally programmable, configurable, customizable, and we can create a solution no matter what your model of charging your customer is. Because all of this invoice is based on a formula, and let's have a quick look at that, because that's pretty good stuff. So the way we do it is we actually use our import system to import sales from our own system, and it kind of sounds a little bit interesting, but let's have a look. I'm going to load this one, and it's going to ask a couple of questions. It's going to go, as of what date? Well, this is why I backdated it, because I wanted it to be as of. So I've got a week ending on a Sunday, and this particular system wants to do 4 weeks at a time. So it's going to invoice for that week, that week, that week, and that week. And what we're going to do is then, so normally, what I'm doing, by the way, is I'm actually stepping through this template. Normally I just click load and run, but I'm going to step through it just so I can show you a little bit about what's going on. So here is some of the formula. This is just a little bit of the formula. It's actually calling an SQL stored procedure, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But just cut a long story short, what we're going to do is just zip through this. You've got field matching here. You've got formulas in here. So this is a fairly sophisticated little guy here. But let's just see how you'd normally run it, right? Because that kind of looks a little bit complicated, right? So what they do is you go File, Import Transactions, and you literally just hit the Enter key once, hit the Enter key again, and hit the Enter key, Enter key, Enter key, and one more time. And what this is going to do is it's calculating all the transactions, all the invoices. So it's doing all the calculations for all the customers, for all their opening balances, and their week storage, and their ins and their outs, and the service charges, and so on. And it's importing that data. And what we're going to see in a minute is the transactions that it creates. Here we go. All right. So again, this particular in this particular implementation, we're invoicing 4 weeks at a time. So we have an opening week's storage. We have products that's arrived inwards during that period, and then we have the next week, products arrived, and the following week, products arrived, and then finally the last week, ending on the 25th, we got the products inwards and the in-out fee. And in this case, I did a pallet wrapping fee. So that's basically it, and it's gone and created invoices for, in this case I didn't have any activity, just a standard 22 pallets were in stock for this particular one. So it generates all of these, it's gone and generated 24 invoices against all these customers. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, so this is all the customers that it's going to invoice for, create invoices for. I'm going to reject these ones. I just want to import the top two. Yeah. Okay, done. What that's doing really is basically, just for the purpose of demo, I only wanted 2, so it's going to reject these other ones here. So you can be selective over which customers you invoice. So let's import that. And what it's going to do is it's imported my 2 transactions. And now the next thing that I can do is I can email these and send off all these invoices to my Outlook system. So we'll just hit the button here, and it's going off and sending invoices to our customers for their stock on hand. All right. Now let's have a look at the invoices that it created. Let's go into my sent items, and here is the invoice. And if we, sorry, I've got 2 monitors here. And so here's my invoice, and you can see you've got your opening number of pallets, products arrival, and so on. So it's very detailed, and also I think it also gives you on the second page the in-out transaction summaries that's occurring in those periods, as well as service charges and pallets in stock. So they've got a printout as well as that website. Every week they get this email, and it gives them a very detailed report, and they can see, oh, I've got 39 pallets in stock. So now just if you don't want to see the technical side of things, then stop now. But I am just going to very briefly show you some of the formulas that are going on here, just to so you realize that so these are all SQL stored procedures, and what we have is this one here. Let me just get that one happening. So if we have a look at it, this is then calling this stored procedure, 3PL billing, da da da. There it is there, which is then calling this one, which is then calling some more formulas like this one here, 3PL in-out summary. Yeah, this one here, and so on. So, you know, then that one calls another one. So there's a lot of fairly sophisticated formulas. I guess the point is that whatever your weekly or monthly invoicing system is, we can configure this system to make it work for your business, and whatever the formula is. Just one more little thing. We have a thing called a dashboard, which is a report that you can, it's like a reporting tool. It's again fully customized, and we can use this to see what stock we've got for our customers, and we can print that out and send them to them on a one-off basis. We can see what their monthly invoicing might look like. Yeah, so that's it. Well, thank you for watching. That's third-party logistics warehousing. If you want to see what we can do for you, give us a call or contact us, send us an email. I can guarantee that whatever your third-party warehousing and logistics functionality is, we can create a solution for you. Yeah, looking forward to seeing what weird and wonderful third-party warehousing and logistics systems you're running, and how we can improve on them and make them far more efficient. Thanks for watching.